Hello, welcome back to another Desk Talk. I'm Wesley Davis, and today we're going to be talking about a little topic that everyone loves, and that is when to hire an architect. I know you're laying up at night and you're thinking that to yourself, right? As we all are. So, simple answer was yesterday. I'm going to divide this up into two segments. If you're doing a new build versus a renovation. If you're doing a new build and it's a vacant lot, what I would first suggest is that you go through Google and Pinterest and all the Instagram and you find images of houses that you like or that you want your house to potentially look like. And you make a folder of that, save those, and then once you have a pretty good idea of what you want, send your email to the architect or myself, and we will have in-depth conversations about what your goals are, what you would like to achieve, and then you provide those images to us somewhat as inspiration because we want to know what you like. Remember, you're a client. We work for you. And so once you have that idea formulated in your mind and you bring us on, we're able to help along that process of who to hire, when to hire them, your different consultants, geotech, for instance, if you need to get some soil studies done, civil engineering, if that's something that is required for your jurisdiction. So it just kind of varies. But we have, as architects, have a lot of connections and understand this process very well from start to finish. Now, your next question, of course, is, well, I don't want to pay for an architect. You guys are too dang expensive. Well, how you pay an architect, I think, is very important to understand. Architects are very similar to purchasing the house. You put an initial deposit down or an initial fee that we charge. It's typically fairly minimal fee. And then as we move along, we actually get paid at the conclusion of the fee. I mean, every architect works differently, of course, in how they're paid, but that is how most architects typically operate. You get paid at the end of the phase. Now, there are 5 phases, and we'll have to cover that in an additional video. But let's say if you're in the design process and you're going through and you end up selling the land or you change your mind and you don't want to move forward with it, you don't have to pay the entire fee. You only pay your fee for what work has been completed. So that's important to know. So let's go ahead and talk about your renovation. So, you got your new build and now you have a renovation. So you're living in the house already, or you just bought a house that needs renovated, and you're wondering when to hire an architect. Well, the kind of simple answer is, yesterday as well, as soon as possible. I can say that for both renovation and new projects as soon as possible. Because for renovations, we want to get in that house. We want to get up in the attic, flashlights. We want to see what's going on up there, which walls are load bearing, which walls are non-load bearing. And then also, more importantly, is what does your jurisdiction require? Are you in a city, county, and what are those regulations that we have to abide by? If you're doing a certain amount of work, sometimes you're actually required to bring your house up to current standards rather than it just being grandfathered in. Now, I'm practicing here in Florida, based out of Tampa, and so the regulations here are a lot different than your regulations where you're at. So to I guess wrap all this up, the simple answer is as soon as possible, yesterday. So I hope that provided some sort of information to you. I mean, it's not super detailed, but it's surprising how many people reach out to me that they're halfway down this road, or they hired a drafting company to draft up their plans, or they've gone with other engineers, and they've realized later that when they hired the architect that we actually had to start over because it wasn't meeting regulations. There was code issues. Maybe they were trying to move load-bearing walls and you're having structural issues. These are things that you could run into fairly quickly, and it happens all the time. I have people contact me, hey, I'm this far along on the project. I go and I'm like, can't do that. We have to change that or add this window or add additional structural elements. So that's why I say the sooner the better. So yeah, I mean, we're not the cheapest people to hire up front, but if you hire all those other folks and, you know, the drafters, and sometimes the projects go just fine, but inevitably that might drag out the process, which costs you time, and then you have to pay additional fees to these people to do these services again. So sometimes it is actually cheaper for you to just hire the architect up front so we can get the project going and have a clear path forward, knowing what you can and can't do from day one rather than, you know, day 50. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you to all 87 of you that are currently subscribed. And if you have any questions about any other architectural processes that you would like to hear, please drop it down in the comments below. I'm going to try to make some videos about these comments. And thanks again, and have a good one. Bye.